a lot of our partners did not expect us to be here this long. They didn't expect us to be this resilient. They didn't expect us to be this dogged. And we've just had to prove them wrong over time. We can do it and we'll continue to do it.
Tunji, why do you do what you do?
It's a bit of a short story. In 2011, I went to a lecture on financial inclusion, and I swear to God, with my hand in my heart, I felt this is the thing that's going to save Africa. You know, with all of us putting our pools together, money together in the financial services system, people can get loans, you know, people who are poor can be able to leverage on the rich, and everybody could, you know, prosperity could really be a thing. And, you know, I felt I had discovered fire, and I spent the greater part of the next 10 years being an advocate for financial inclusion. But then I realized that not everybody understood financial inclusion as I did. Financial inclusion for a lot of people was give everybody bank accounts. I felt financial inclusion should be make financial services useful for everybody. And then I spent about 3 years trying to explain it to everybody, and nobody understood it. And you know the way they say, if nobody understands this problem you're trying to solve, maybe you're the one that should solve it. And that's basically how we started Awabah.
What were you telling people?
I was telling them that, you know, there is a great, so 80% of the GDP in Africa is created by the informal sector. And think about it, the informal sector, banks don't cater to them because banks don't know how to cater to the informal sector. You know, they can get proper leasing. If they get leasing, it's at higher cost than the informal sector. And I'm thinking to myself, if the economy is built on the back of the informal sector, we should create a service or services that cater to the informal sector. And I try to explain to everybody, and the same answers always came back. Oh, these people are too unstructured. They're too difficult to sell to. You know, they're in different clusters. How are you going to get the message to everybody? And I said, you just have to care. If you care enough, you get it across. And I realized that it wasn't a thing I could help people understand. I had to show them. And pretty much that's how we started.
So how did you start?
It was a difficult one. We needed partners. We needed pension partners. We needed insurance partners. We needed all kinds of partners, financial service partners. So think about how crazy what I'm saying right now sounds today, now that we are already, you know, thousands of customers in. Think about when I was saying it, when everybody thought it was a hopeless cause. So nobody was willing to listen to us. We were banging on doors. Please partner with us. Help. We will sell your products. You know what? Don't pay us anything. Don't pay us a commission. Don't pay us a finder's fee. Let's just sell the product. Let's just show you it can work. And I still remember we literally had to beg people to allow us sell their products. It was ridiculous. We literally had to. The first 1 year or so was done with huge losses to my company because we were going out selling products of other people for them just to be able to prove to them that we could do it. Then after about a year, they're like, maybe we'll give you a try. And then they started to work with us.
Well, why was there such a pushback on not letting you sell their products?
So I think, and this is the to be fair to them, many have come saying the same things I said. But without the convictions I had. You know, when you look at, especially if you look at Nigeria, 200 million people, a large portion of them are in the informal sector. So you think to yourself, that's at least 120 million people I can sell to. So this is a huge market. If I could just get 10% of that, I'm a millionaire. So they go in with that expectation of trying to make money. And when they get in and they see all the obstacles that are there, they chicken out and run. So these financial institutions have seen many people come and say the same thing I said. But I wasn't under any illusion. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be hard from day one. So when it started getting hard, everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna." I'm like, I knew this was going to happen, So I think, and it's still being said. A lot of our partners did not expect us to be here this long. They didn't expect us to be this resilient. They didn't expect us to be this dogged. So it's kind of the cynicism of, oh yeah, we heard that before. You're gonna leave very soon, and we've just had to prove them wrong over time. We can do it, and we'll continue to do it.
And at the beginning, what were you doing differently?
I mean, the simple thing we were doing differently, and it's still the same thing we're doing differently, is that we were not selling financial services for the sake of selling financial services. We wanted to provide value for the customer. And I know this is cliche. Everybody says this, but honestly, I wanted to know what the customer wanted. I was going to the nuance of the customer. Why does because there's an alternative to my service in the informal sector. Why are they using that very cumbersome, very archaic product? Why are they using it? And I started realizing that it's sometimes the advantages, sometimes the social benefits, sometimes it's just the understanding of it, and it's the nuance that's been able to help us right to this level. So, for instance, I'll tell you something. In my country, we're trying to copy the model of mobile money that works in Kenya, South Africa, and in some other parts. Mobile money is struggling to grow in Nigeria. There is another service that we've adapted to the Nigerian methodology. It's the point of sale terminals, where you go to a restaurant and you want to pay with your card. That machine. Now, these machines have literally replaced banks in some parts of Nigeria, where people actually go to somebody under a tree. I want to get cash. You stick in your card. The guy debits your card and he goes, gives you the cash. That's the nuance of Nigeria. Now, if you try to recreate this nuance, you'll be fighting against social culture. Why not go with what they're comfortable with, and build financial services on it? So one of the immediate things we did was to put our products on POS terminals. So you can go to a POS guy and say, I want to buy Value Bar, I want to pay into my pension account, and they'll do, and you go. So what we've done from day one that is different. It's not like we're the most brilliant in the room. It's just we've just decided to take the customer serious
and leverage what they already use.
Exactly. And it's the biggest driver of financial inclusion in Nigeria by far. Every street you go to, there's at least 3-4 guys with a POS, just because it's low cost. You don't need to have a shop. You don't need to have anything. You just need to have the POS terminal, and you're in business.
And could you walk us through your service offerings?
So we have the first one is Value Bar. So Value Bar is where we provide to small businesses an all-inclusive monthly subscription where they can give their gig workers health insurance, life insurance, accident cover, and micropensions for the simple single cost of $3 a month. Now, when I say we were listening to the customer, we realized that small businesses wanted to give value to their gig workers, but it was too expensive. Gig workers wanted benefits. So the barrier really was value on this side, cost on this side. We found a way to merge both of them into this Value Bar product, $3 a month. Serving everybody makes everybody happy.
How is it only $3?
Like I said, inside, 2 things. One is a secret sauce that we have, which, of course, if I told you, I have to kill you. But I'll tell you. So one of the things I have been doing this for a while. So I realized that insurance premiums are so unique, right? And if you buy insurance, like a health insurance product off the shelf, they give you what they think you want, right? They put all sorts of things inside that package that you've bought in that premium. A lot of those things you might not need. So for instance, your health insurance premium, you don't wear glasses. It covers glasses and eye issues and all of that. But it's in your bundle taking up space, right? Which you're never going to use. So what we did is where we just looked at it, they don't need that, shrink it. But also the thing is that we've been able to also use a distribution methodology that is probably unprecedented in my country. We realized that we didn't want to replicate the distribution models. So we didn't want to have our own agents everywhere, so we started partnering with all the distribution companies across Nigeria. So right now you can go to an ATM machine and buy value bar.
Any ATM.
Any ATM in Nigeria. So my point is we just decided to not recreate the wheel. What are people comfortable with? Let's get our services to them at where they want to use it. We have the app, we have the web. We like you to use the web, we like you to use the app. But we're like, what do you like to use? Okay, we'll meet you there.
What's your process of getting this information from the customer? If you give me a summary.
So I mean, it's simple. So in Nigeria, we have what we call the national identification number, and that's all we need really. It's the American equivalent of the social security number. And once we have that, we're able to spool your data, your number, of course, you give us your permission to. You're able to have all the details, and we sign you up very easily. Very seamless process. I mean, the market research process is one that is years of my experiences, years of also going into the market and asking. So before we came on this, I told you I was in the media for a while. So for 3 years, I had a show called the Money, Business, and Economy Show. I was pretty much the agony aunt of financial services. So I'd have people call in on the show. Hey, Tunji, my bank did this to me, and they did, and I'll be like, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. So I spent like greater part of the last 5 years before I started Awabah, just listening to customers complain, real life customer complaints, like, they charged me 300 naira, and I'm like, why? Go back and tell them, and they'll come back. Oh, Tunji, they gave me back my money. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that, But I started to realize that what we thought were their problems were really not their problems. So a lot of that, then it helped us, be able to shape our data finding surveys, knowing so it was like we had a cheat sheet from the beginning. We already knew, okay, we had that secret, areas to probe, and they were open to telling us quickly, and we basically just recreated what the customer wanted.
And if I understand your business model correctly, you charge your customer $3. What do you pay to your service providers?
So we share the sales providers. We earn net about 43% margin of every product that is sold, and so basically we do good business with them. I mean, the thing is, they're so excited with the products we're offering because they're like, how are you doing it? Every single time they come like, how are you doing it? Because we have the product and we can sell it. And I'm like, yes, because you're not listening to your customers. They're like, okay. I mean, that's where we stand out, because we actually understand them. If you look at our products and the way we offer it, you'll realize that it is very Nigerian. And as we start to expand into other parts of Africa, we expect to replicate this methodology, because we need to know what the customer wants. We're not going to bring a service that you don't want and then try to push it down your throat saying, oh, in Nigeria, this is how they buy it. You should buy it this way because this is the new way to do it. We want to know how you would like to have it. We want to know how you like to have your coffee. Do you like it black? Do you like it, Exactly.
And when you're scaling, how do you intend to do that with?
So another thing we've also realized with scaling is that the model we have in Nigeria is the perfect model for scaling our product across the world. Forget Africa, across the world. So what we are going to be doing is the same model to which Uber, you could go into another country and Uber works there, is the same model we're creating with our service. So instead of being ground heavy, we want to just be able to be technology heavy. Find the technology that is scalable in your country and leverage the technology to be able to reach more people. In some countries is the telcos, in some countries is the banks, in some countries is the retail chains. Whatever is working in your country is where the technology is going to be available to them.
And what challenges arise when you take that approach?
The thing we've seen that is going to always be a challenge is the regulatory environment. One of the two products that we sell, insurance and pensions, are heavily regulated in any economy. So we have to take the nuance of that country to be able to sell these products, right? But the amazing thing I've realized is that every country is open to gig worker financial stability. So every time we're talking to them, they're like, oh, okay, we want to listen. oh, this is what you need, we'll help you do it. Because they want more of their gig workers having sustainable futures. So it's something that we're in the right place at the right time. Maybe in 10 years' time, nobody will listen to us as much as they're listening to us right now. But right now, we have that track record, at least in Nigeria, to show that we've been able to crack it in Nigeria. We can do it also in your country. And they're able to listen to us and be like, please, if you can do the same thing you did there here, we'd love you.
What's your big, hairy, audacious goal?
To be the model financial institution for gig workers by the end of the decade. And when I say the model financial institution, is that when you say a financial institution for gig workers, what comes to mind is microfinance bank. And I think microfinance banks are fantastic and they've done a great job. But I think that because if you look at microfinance banks, the main conversation is loans. And I think that's great. But I think we need to go more than loans into services. If you're a gig worker and you're in the creative industry and you want to go to a bank and you want to get a loan, forget whatever you get from YouTube streams, forget whatever you get. They're going to be like, we don't know how to categorize you to give you this credit. We want to be able to create services that are targeted at gig workers to be able to say, oh, let's check your YouTube streams. What income do you get from there? Okay, we can do this model. Oh, we'll be able to give you this credit. Oh, okay, this is what you get from your song streams. This is what we can be able to structure, because the gig economy is nuanced in so many dynamic ways that the traditional financial institution is not working for them. And we want to build the model financial institution for gig workers for the next decade. By the end of the decade, we want to be able to have it set up. We want countries across the world to come and say, how did you guys do it? We want to be able to learn and do it for our country also. So it's not so much of a profit-oriented goal. We feel that gig workers can get a lot more from the financial institutions, and we want to be able to show the world how to do it.
What's the percentage of gig economy in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, there are 70 million people in the labor force. 70 million. That's people who are able to work, available to work, and ready to work. Of that 70 million, only 11 million of them are in the formal space.
Just over 10%.
Think about the huge market, and nobody's catering to them. I'm talking about YouTubers, actors, singers, plumbers, Uber drivers. I'm talking about millions and millions of people who nobody is serving. And we think this is right. How? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess, because I try to explain to people, I wouldn't be doing this if people got it. After years of trying to explain it to everybody and nobody understood what I was saying, I was like, okay, I'll show you. Pretty much. And this is why we're doing this now.
I like it. Tunji, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you
time.
very much. It's been a great one.
I also want to acknowledge you for the impact that you're making and
Thank
serving this more than
80%
of this African population in the rural economy, gig economy. So thank you for doing that. And I hope that by the end of the decade, everybody understands what you do.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Cool. Thanks, Tunji.
Yeah.